All right, secondhand toy dealer here, and going over my weekend haul. It was a little better than last weekend. I didn't see a bunch of stuff in stores, but a couple cool finds and some eBay purchases, and here we go. So I haven't been looking for these, but I found, I believe that this was from Meijer and this was from Walmart. Had a Slinky as a kid, and I just think, this is just one of those classic toys and just something to put on display. Again, I mean, like that whole catch-22 of my display where I'm constantly looking for something small to fill in a space and maybe make it look a little more full and less patchy. And something like this will fit a nice small space quite nice. These were $3 each, and I don't know, I think it's kind of fun. I also saw an Etch-a-Sketch that I thought was kind of funny because the Etch-a-Sketch said no Wi-Fi required. That was the tablet of our childhood, the Etch-a-Sketch, and I did not buy that. I passed on that, but if I see it again, I might pull the trigger on that. And then I saw some new Marvel Legends figures. Well, this is the only one that I saw. I do know that they are making more, and I think, man, this is about like one of the Spider-Man action figures that I had as a kid. Just that 5 points of articulation, and I think that looks pretty cool. The packaging is good. One thing I do appreciate about this is they put the peg and they centered it where, well, they didn't center it, but they balanced it where when you would hang it on the peg, it's going to hang straight. And I feel like some of these companies do not put enough thought into putting it where it's going to hang straight, and then when I hang it on a peg, it hangs crooked. I think it displays like junk, and then I have to try and fashion some way of balancing it on two pegs, and I'm wasting more pegboard hooks than I really want to, when it could be as simple as pegboard hook hanging on the hook slot. I found a Skyfire Reaction Transformers action figure. This is a character that I always wanted to get as a kid and never did, but I think that's kind of fun. I really like the simple 5 points of articulation, 3 3/4 action figures. And I hear some guys say, oh, Transformers are meant to be transformed. And I always thought that Transformers usually either made a really good alt mode or a really good robot mode, but rarely ever accomplished both well. And if they did accomplish both well, it was usually at the cost of, man, this thing takes forever to transform from the robot to the alt mode or vice versa. And I always liked the playing with the action figure. They had I think it was Action Masters. I can't recall what the name of it was, but I had one of the action figures that was a Transformer, and I liked that because if I wanted to pretend that he transformed, I'd get a Hot Wheels Matchbox car out and I'd roll that around. But if I wanted to play with them as the character, then I would want them in the action figure form like this, which is why I really like those Transformers RED, Robot Enhanced Design figures. I like those a lot because they look so much like what the cartoon portrayed the robot mode. And so I really like those, and I although these aren't as accurate as like the Transformers RED figures, the reaction line is kind of nice to see. There's a lot more of the reaction figures out there than there are of the Transformers Red series. Then I found a Batman, the Hellbat Gold Edition. I don't know if this is a rare chase or just a repaint. I've only seen this one in the wild, and I had already purchased the regular version about a year ago, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. Most of the time, I don't really get into the whole like, well, this figure's gold, and well, I gotta have that. But boy, that just looks really cool, and I like the look of the Hellbat anyway. So I got that to display next to each other. When I picked up the Gizmo last weekend, I thought, I bet that one of those NECA Gremlin characters would look really cool in the display case next to Gizmo. And I thought, man, I think that these things have been in stores for probably long enough that I'm going to have a hard time finding one. And they had this Gremlin. They had the other one with the swim trunks and the snorkel, and I thought, I don't really want that one. I want one that looks more just like he could be posed and hung off of the display case, and that's what I don't buy many things with the intention of removing it from the package. Most stuff, I want to buy it and display it new in the package. But this here, I purchased with the intention of taking him out, posing him, and putting him in my display case next to Gizmo. And but the biggest reason I've avoided these NECA action figures is that it's a box. I mean, like, I wish if they would have sold it like this, Gremlins, and then the plastic showing the actual figure inside. Oh my goodness, I'd be forking over cash all day to buy these really detailed action figures. But I really try and avoid putting something like this on display in my collection. It's unavoidable with some things like Legos, but Nerf guns in some cases. But with action figures, I really don't like buying boxes that you can't see the figure. You have to open a flap and see the figure. But with me wanting to take him out of the package and display him loose next to Gizmo, I thought, this is going to be cool. And boy, they come with some really, really good accessories there. You got the candy bars, you got the pop and the cigarette and presumably a beer. And then down there's the 3D glasses and the popcorn bag and just the different things that you can pose him to look like. I really think that they did a great job making this action figure. I just wish that they would have sold the action figures so that you could see how nice everything is if you wanted to display it new in the package like I do. Another thing I found on eBay was the Hot Wheels Blacktop Chopper. I'm always looking for police motorcycles, and although this doesn't really have any like red and blue lights or anything, it is the white with the police logo on there. I had one of these when I was a younger collector, and I didn't keep anything new in the package at that point, so I've been looking for one of these to replace in my collection because I used to have one of these, and I like collecting the die-cast police motorcycles. And my cousin sent me a picture of these Hot Wheels Super Rigs, and I thought, yeah, that's cool enough. I mean, but I saw this and I thought, that's actually pretty cool. I wish that it glowed in the dark like the other semi-trailer does, but I really like the shocks on that car, and then with it being a Mars transport, I thought that just looks cool. The packaging looks cool. It takes up a lot of space on the pegboard, and it was less than $4 before tax. So I thought, that's pretty cool. I guess it shows some of the ones that are available in this series. And I thought for myself, this one was the coolest of the ones in this series. I was slightly tempted by the Carnival steamer, but I thought that the Red Planet one was the one I wanted to buy and put on display. So we'll see how long that stays in the collection before I have to bump it out and replace it with something that is more nostalgically important to me. Speaking of nostalgically important to me, we've got the Jada Battle Machines. So you've got the 2006 Ford Mustang, the 69 Camaro SS, and they have got those machine guns and they're all armor plated up over the windows. Got a 57 Chevy Bel Air, and this one here reminds me of the old Mask cartoon. I believe that they had a Bel Air, and it seemed like it was red and blue like this. I don't remember if it had flames or not, but I thought this just really reminds me of one of the toys that I liked looking at the toy store back in my childhood. And then a 57 Chevy Bel Air that is a taxi scheme. I did buy another one of these 69 Camaro SS on eBay, and it was the police variant, but USPS being these days, couldn't manage to get it delivered by the end of the week. So, alright, so there is a overview of the toy haul this week. If you've watched my channel much, you know that I recently sold my house, I guess in the last 6 months, and my wife and children and myself have been looking for a permanent place to buy in a quieter neighborhood, and most of my collection is boxed up, so I can't really get it out and do much with it, and I've been killing time by going toy hunting. So I really need to find a house so that I don't continue spending money toy hunting at the rate that I am. But alright, well, thanks for checking out my videos. We will catch you next time.
I'm really sorry. I apologize unreservedly. I offer a complete and utter retraction. The imputation was totally without basis in fact and was in no way fair comment and was motivated purely by malice. And I deeply regret any distress that my comments may have caused you or your family. And I hereby undertake not to repeat any such slander at any time in the future.